Hello and welcome to SGN Tech Forum. Today in this short video, I'm going to show you how to host your private CA, and we will discuss why you may need a private CA. But I'm going to show you how to host a private CA on Linux Ubuntu machine and how you can create a root certificate, how you can create server or client certificate very easily and export them out of this CA and install them in various server or client machines. So the program or tool, what we are going to discuss here is XCA. This is a free tool, very much GUI based tool. So it's very easy to work with. Let's go ahead and understand what is XCA. This is a quick snapshot. X certificate and key management intended for creating and managing X509 certificate, RSA, DSA, and EC private keys. It let you start your own PKI server so that you can create private keys, certificate, etc. And you can import and export them in any format like PEM, PKCS7 or 12. So let's see how to install XCA. I found very interesting write-up here, which tells you how to install XCA on Ubuntu. Pretty straightforward. Just the regular Ubuntu command apt-get install XCA, and the program will be installed and started automatically. Just in case if you want to remove it, you can also uninstall by the move command, and you can purge them to delete all the files from the system. Pretty standard Ubuntu stuff. To save some time, I have already installed XCA via CLI. And now if I go to my program, I can find it. And you can see the XCA web form is available. However, when you first come here, everything is grayed out. That means you cannot generate any new certificate. The reason being, the database for this XCA is not initialized. So let's go ahead and create a new database. Give your database a name. And this database will contain all the certificate, private keys, etc. You can have more than one database. Provide a password because this password will be used to encrypt your private key in the database. And make sure you don't lose your password, otherwise, you won't be able to export the certificate or keys. Now, so we have initialized the database, we have this web form active. Let's go ahead and create our first certificate. When here you can see signing, I'm choosing create a self-signed certificate, and there are various template. So let's go ahead in the drop down and select the template that is default CA certificate authority, because we are going to create our first root certificate. Hit apply all. Once you hit apply all, it is actually applying a preset to all these different tabs, like key uses for CA certificate signing is uh, set by default. And obviously the validity, which is 10 years from the time you initiate this web form. And it give your certificate a serial number, unique serial number, etc. All right. So we have a template available. Let's go ahead and fill this web form, which require regular fields like country name, state, locality, etc. And also, let's create a private key for this CA certificate, root CA certificate. Because we are here first time, we need to create a private key. And I have filled all the web form. So we are ready to create our first CA. Here in extension, you can mention any kind of like a subject alternate name, like SAN names, those things you can mention in extension. There's a comment field as well. Whatever you have done is mentioned, it will be documented there. And go ahead, hit OK. We ran into one small problem, like country name should be only 2 letters. So go ahead and change that. And here it is our first root CA created. I'm going to export that as PEM. And now what we are going to do, we are going to create our client certificate or server certificate, and we will use root certificate to sign this server certificate. So root certificate is a CA authority, and now we are creating a child certificate using that. So same thing, we are creating another 509 certificate under our root CA. However, key uses are a little bit different. And let me pause it or go back a little and show you. This thing is going really fast. So we are using a template called TLS server. Use this certificate for signing, and this is our root CA. I have two root CA certificate. One was MCS, and this one is another root CA certificate. So they're both the same. They can sign a certificate, fill the form within extension. You can see this has a subject alternate name, which is our DNS name, which is a copy of common name. And extension key uses, you can see this as something different. This certificate is not applicable for certificate signing, but it can only use for digital signature, non-repudiation, and key agreement, etc. And this is TLS web server authentication type of certificate. That's what we want. From there on, regular things, and we'll generate a private key for our server certificate and client certificate created successfully. With that, we have a root CA and a client certificate that will be used on our server. Let's go ahead and export this as well. And this time we are going to export it PKCS 12 format. And PKCS 12 allow you to set a password. You can keep it blank as well, but I have selected a password. And here you can see we have the client certificate available. Now, so we have the root certificate and client certificate available. What we can do, we can copy the root certificate and put it in a trusted store of our server machine. And the client certificate will go to the personal certificate store of this client machine. So I hope you find this video useful. I know we went a little fast here, but this is pretty straightforward. You're working with web form. So I hope you won't run into any challenges. If at all you run into any challenges, please do write your questions in comment box and I'll get back to you and I'll see you in next video. Thank you very much.